Hey everybody, it's me again. I told you I was going to do some videos on this, proving that science ain't what it's all bragged about to be, because that's all I can say is they brag a lot about it, but they don't even use their own methods. And I use their own scientific methods to try to prove to you gravity doesn't exist, and according to their own methods, they have no experiment to prove that gravity exists, so therefore it's nothing but a theory at best. It's somebody's thought, somebody's opinion. The next one I want to talk about is humankind evolution. Now, I want you to understand, I believe that animals evolve through their environment because there's certain dogs have long hair because they were dogs that were bred in a cold country somewhere to be used for, weather that is, that's cold out. There's also animals that have evolved to hot parts of the world where it's mostly, rainforests or tropical temperatures. And those animals do evolve for their environment. But what I don't believe, and they have never been able to prove, is that a reptile has never changed into a bird. A canine, a dog, has never changed into a reptile. Any kind of animal you want to talk about has never changed from one kind to the other. Their species might have changed a little bit because of their environment over hundreds of years or thousands of years, or they've been bred that way, like domesticated animals. But no one kind of animal has ever changed into another kind in order for evolution to even be proven. So how could an ape change into man? It's not possible. So, but let's not even say that. Let's just go to their scientific method. First thing you got to do, in order for it to be an experiment, to be a proven scientific fact, there has to be a natural phenomenon where they've observed this in nature. Well, they have never observed in nature a ape turning into man. They've never done it. They've even said, or they try to convince us that they have bones or skulls to prove that apes turned into man, but there's always that missing link that can't connect them together. So, just to start off with, that blows their whole scientific experiment out of the water. So if they haven't never seen it happen in nature as a natural phenomenon, then what are they questioning? They're trying to question where mankind came from. Well, they don't believe in God, so we had to crawl up out of the sludge of the oceans from amoebas or whatever you want to call it after the Big Bang Theory and the Earth formed and all that crap. We had all this. They make up all this shit to try to convince you that's what happened, although they have absolutely no proof of it whatsoever. So, they can question where we come from, but they have nothing in nature to prove that that's where we come from. Now, the next step would be to research it to see if anybody else has came up with any answers or questions about this same thing. And I'm sure there's been a lot of people that ask a lot of questions, but nobody's answered them. Because unless they look at a creator, they're not going to come up with any answer. because what they're trying to answer with is a thought of somebody who believes they know more than anybody else, whether that be Darwin or whoever else came after him that backed up that theory. So there we go again. Just like with gravity, they're already missing the first 3 steps of their scientific method. Then you get down, well, how are you going to write a hypothesis if you can't even do the first 3 steps? There is no hypothesis. So then that comes down to your experiments. You can't do no experiments because you don't even know what you're doing, because the first 4 you've already had to skip. So, I mean, do I have to go any further with this? I mean, we went over all this with the gravity crap, you know. It's their scientific method that they say they all follow in order to have scientific proof, but yet they can't use their own scientific methods to prove what they say is real. So if you can't prove it with science, what do you have left, people? We got several religions that say the same thing. They don't say the same thing completely 100% across the board in their Bible, Torahs, whatever, Quran. They don't say the same thing 100% across the board, but they all talk about a higher being, the creator that created all of us. So, where do you go? Where do you go? You can't stick with your scientific methods, your scientist, just because they come up with some stupid thought process that one of them decided that's the way it happened, and period, plain and simple. You can't just stick with that and believe it 100% if they ain't got no facts, because your scientific evidence is always supposed to be filled with facts. So how can you do that, people? You can't. So the way I see it, once again, science couldn't prove gravity, and they most certainly can't prove evolution from primate to humans. They can't, So you people think about that, and when you got some proof, any of you want to say I'm crazy, go ahead and bring it back on me. Don't send me no pictures of some ape head that you want to talk about Neanderthals changing into humans or anything like that, because even Neanderthals are not human. So, if you're going to use Neanderthal, that you can't even prove them either, but go ahead, because you weren't there to observe them. How can you say they go through the scientific method and you'd be able to prove it? It's not a natural phenomenon that you can see in nature. It can't be proven. So it's nothing more than a theory, a thought process, or an opinion of somebody else's. You people all have a good day out there, and may God bless us all, because we're going to need it.